The family is the bedrock of our society. The family must at all times be provided with the support that is necessary to achieve its true potential. The Ministry of Social Development and Family Services, through its National Family Services Division, in commemoration of International Family Day 2022 and Family Month, presents its Family Time. Let's Talk, a radio program which focuses on the family and the issues relating to building healthy, functional families. Join us as we take a deeper look into emerging issues such as family violence, domestic violence, trauma, stress, and many more. Every Monday from 11:15 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. on 98.1 FM. The Ministry of Social Development and Family Services, helping, empowering, transforming lives.
That's right. It's time to talk. It is time. It's family time. It's time to talk. And we've got Dr. Harrison Blake and Miss Ambika Miraj on the line to talk from the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services. Ladies, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. It's so good to be on the program.
It's good to have you here this morning. Okay, so we're gonna be chatting today about the family, and so I want you to, give us a little introduction as to what we're going to be doing today.
Right. So today we're going to focus on celebrating and honoring seasoned elders now, #chosen. And, just a couple of days from now, on June 15th, we will be looking at commemorating World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, which is it's scheduled on June 15th annually. Now, you would want to think, maybe why would we want to celebrate and honor older persons while talking about elder abuse? And the reality is that the more that we avoid ageism, which is the stereotyping of our elders and seeing them in a way that is against what they were created to be, then we would less likely find incidents of elder abuse. So we want to highlight the positives about our elders and, of course, also promote a webinar that the ministry will be hosting on June 15th to address the issue of elder abuse, in particularly financial abuse.
Let's hear a little bit from Minister Cox.
The Ministry of Social Development and Family Services is pleased to share in the annual global celebrations that commemorate the United Nations International Day of Families. The theme this year is Families and Urbanization. Urbanization reflects the shift in population from rural living to city or areas around cities. It often produces better educational, health, security, emergency response, and entertainment options for city dwellers in relation to their rural counterparts. The Ministry of Social Development and Family Services is responsible for supporting the needs of families for social services, and especially our vulnerable citizens, single parents, the elderly, persons with disabilities, the poor and indigent, the homeless, among others. We encourage families to reach out to our National Family Services Division if they need support managing relationships, help with parenting, or any other challenges that they may encounter. Our crisis support suicide prevention hotline will be on stream in a matter of weeks, and through this avenue, citizens can receive an additional layer of support. We will continue to faithfully discharge our duty to the national community and especially to families, and will partner with like-minded organizations and individuals to develop and implement more family-oriented policies. This will allow our families to remain strong and resilient in the face of changing economic, technological, environmental, and social circumstances, ensuring always that no one is left behind as we help, empower, and transform lives. If you or someone you know may be in need of services provided by the National Family Services Division, please call 623-2608, extension 6701 to 6711.
That was Minister Donna Cox. She's the Minister of Social Development and Family Services. And so I want to head back to Dr. Harrison Blake. Dr. Harrison, I know you're still with me.
Yes, I am. Hello. I'm not sure if you heard me before the presentation by Minister. Perchance, did you?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes, so you were talking about something that is coming up. I believe I know you have a guest today, so I'm going to allow you to introduce your guest.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it would just be me and Miss Mirage. So,
I'm saying Miss Mirage, and I'm thinking as a guest. No, Miss Mirage. My apologies. I'm calling you a guest, but of course you're guesting with us today. So good morning to you, Miss Mirage.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine today. Thank you.
Wonderful.
I'll allow Dr. Hyacinth Blake to continue.
Go ahead, Dr. Hyacinth.
Sure. So yes, we're inviting citizens of Trinidad and Tobago near and wide, and persons from other territories to log into our webinar. You don't have to come through the rain, but our focus will be on estate planning and financial literacy to combat financial abuse of older persons. And that will be on the 15th of June from 8:45 a.m. You can access the webinar via the ministry's website, www.social.gov.tt, or via its social media pages. You can check Facebook in the name of the ministry, Ministry of Social Development and Family Services, and it will be streamed live, but we encourage persons to pre-register, send your questions in, and if perchance you can't, you can put your questions on the social media pages as well. You can also call us at 800-OPIC, that's toll-free 800-6742 if you find it challenging to log on or use the social media platform. So someone will answer the call and they will assist you accordingly to access the webinar.
Wonderful. You know, it's been a trying 2 years, and you know, with the COVID. But you know, one of the good things that has come out of it is the fact that I heard you say just now, you don't have to come to the rain. You know, you can just log on and be a part of the webinar. And I think that's one of the good things that has come out of this pandemic, in that we can get people from wherever, from all over, commentate and not having to, you know, travel from point A to point B, and the challenges of a day like this where we have, you know, bad weather. So we continue to chat with you ladies.
Yes, we're happy to be on. And so in terms of what we will be presenting on, the specific topics that will be discussed include estate planning for older persons, financial abuse of older persons in Trinidad and Tobago, to provide context as to that, what happens if you die without a will, benefits of estate planning for older persons, and safeguarding the senior citizens grant, tips for older persons and their nominees. Unfortunately, we've heard reports and we've seen the evidence that some of our senior citizens have been victims, unfortunately, of having their senior citizens grant stolen from them, used for purposes that they did not intend it to be used for. You know, they're being bullied into giving away their finances. And this is something that we definitely frown upon and we do not support at all. And so we're encouraging our elders and those who care for them to be empowered by what will be shared, so they will know the ins and outs as to what's happening with the Senior Citizens Grant. The Director of the Social Welfare Division, Mr. Troy Pollene, will be presenting on that topic. And you can ask your questions, as I said before. And then, of course, you know, it might seem a bit sad or morbid to talk about what happens when we die. But I know the listeners on this station will understand that there is a life beyond. And even more so, that we need to leave a legacy for those that remain in this physical realm. So having said that, you know, persons, as if you are someone who already have a bank account, you have identified beneficiaries on that bank account, or a unit trust account, or credit union, you know, this is something that you need to listen to and prepare for, even from a young age, maybe as young as 18. So we encourage persons to log on and get the information.
You know, I'm glad you're sharing that concerning senior citizens and being taken advantage of. I saw recently, just a couple of days ago, it wasn't in Trinidad, it was outside of Trinidad, where senior citizens were scammed out of about $80-something thousand, you know, of their life savings by other people. And, you know, when I'm looking at it, I'm saying, how do we help these people? How can we help prevent things like that happening? and I'm sure I don't know if anything like that has happened in Trinidad and Tobago, but what you're talking about, people using senior citizens grants and sometimes they get cards to be used and whatnot, and people using it for other things other than what it was meant for. I am really happy to hear that something like that is being addressed, because too often that it has happened. We take advantage of our seniors, and I'm glad to see something is being done about that. So I commend you. I commend the ministry for this initiative. Thank you so much. On behalf of I'm not seniors as yet, I'm not seniors yet, but on behalf of all the senior people, thank you so much for that initiative, and I'm trusting that the folks will come out and be a part of what is happening. So what else do we have going on?
But Professor, all of us are aging. I remember aging is a lifelong process.
We aging, but we're not there. Some of us not there yet. Okay, so let's not call it. I'm not calling it myself as yet. Okay.
I hear you. But all of us will know an elder, And so, in terms of who will be presenting, in addition to the Director of Social Welfare, we have Mr. Garth Thomas from the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago. So we have a panel that is well informed. Senator the Honorable Donna Cox will also be giving the keynote address, and we have the Permanent Secretary, Ms. Sheila Sitaran, doing a feature presentation. So, it's something that we have prepared. We are excited to share with the nation. And yes, you mentioned that, overseas, how much tens of thousands of dollars was stolen from this elder. And I saw that especially during the pandemic, the Department of Justice in the U.S. would have set aside millions of dollars to address this issue of financial abuse against elders. And that's to tell you the cost it has not only to the elders, but to the society at large. Why would you want to steal the pension of an elder who needs to access their food, their basic supplies, their medication, healthcare, and so on, and shelter? And unfortunately, there are persons who prey on our seniors. It's not that good things aren't happening. We have those who really take care of them. And so we have elders who are living all up to 111 in Trinidad and Tobago. Many of them turned 100, those in our National Centenarian Program just this month, right? So we do have good, but we also want to make sure that we preserve what is good and address the things that are not acceptable in our nation. And that includes pilfering from our seniors.
Indeed, and that that's a wonderful thing, and I'm glad our seniors are listening right now, because we have our Forever Young'uns here on Isaac 90.1 FM, so they would be listening right now. The challenges I'm thinking in my mind that some of them, when we think about the webinar, some of them may not be tech savvy, some of them may not know how to log on. I don't know if there's something we can do, or maybe explain to them how to get on the platform so that they can be a part of this webinar that is going to take place. Can we help them with that?
Sure. So we would want you to call the toll-free hotline, and so that an officer can assist you directly, give you that one-on-one as to how to go on the internet, put in the website www.social.gov.tt, see the registration page and enter. Or you might think, I don't want to pre-register. I will go onto Facebook. There are many seniors on Facebook, or you can get someone within your home to assist you. Or if you're in a facility, ask one of the carers. Go on the ministry's Facebook page, Ministry of Social Development and Family Services, and you can then see the webinar streamed live from 8:45 a.m. on June 15th. But of course, if you want that more specific hand-holding and assistance, we don't mind. Call us toll-free, 800-OPIC, that's 800-6742.
Wonderful. No, I don't want to give a negative spin on this, but I just want to say something, and I'm just trusting that it would be received the way it is intended. I have had, even within the last few days, to call different places, and I'm still holding on. I'm still holding on to get the information that I want. I'm still waiting. So I'm trusting that as a senior citizen, because they would not have much patience, as a young person like myself. They may not have that kind of patience. I see Ms. Murad smiling when I said a young person like myself. But, they may not have that kind of patience. So I'm trusting that we really, even in thinking of our senior citizens, when they call, that there would be a voice at the end of the line to walk them through the process, because it can get very frustrating when you call and you hear dial 1 for this and dial 2 for that, and then when you dial 2 it put you onto something else, and if you want this and that, and then it brings you back to the beginning. So I'm just putting that out there, especially for senior citizens, that they don't have that kind of experience if they are seeking to get the information that they want to get. Yes?
Yes, and thanks for sharing that. And it is a concern. And I know that at the executive level, right down, we have put systems in place. The Honorable Minister have put different departments in place so that we can strengthen those call-ins and the response rate and the response time. So there is a contact center where those 800 number calls go to, and then it's forwarded to the relevant department, in particular the Division of Aging in this instance. So, and if a call is missed and there's that feedback, we do get an email indicating that, listen, there was a call that came in and there was no response. And we hope that that is to the minimal, but we do have those checks and balances. So encourage persons to call. If perchance you are sufficiently email savvy and you prefer to email us instead of call and ask for a call back, you can email opic@social.gov.tt. And that can be about the webinar or any matters pertaining to older persons. For instance, if you have been the victim of financial abuse or elder abuse in any way, we encourage you to come forward and get support. You can do that anonymously through our OPIC, either the 800 number or the email. You can say you want this to be anonymous, or you can be open enough to say your name accordingly. And we can engage the relevant stakeholders. If it is a matter of fraud, we will engage the fraud squad through the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. If it is a matter of some other crime, be it theft or property loss, we will also engage the victim and witness support unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. And, I use the word victim carefully. The reality is that many of our elders are already survivors. Some of them are a lot more tech savvy than me. They're much more energetic than me at times. I've seen some of them pre-COVID, doing their fitness, and I'm trying to catch up. So it's not to give this shadow across the experiences of elders who would have had maybe a challenge. The reality is that if you have been challenged in this particular way, call us and get the support, and that's how we overcome. We overcome not by just being alone and isolated, but by getting social support. So we encourage that.
Wonderful. Glad to hear that. And Miss Maraja, I want to bring you in. What do you have to share with us today?
Okay, good morning, Professor and listeners out there. I'm actually here as a representative on behalf of the National Family Services Division of the Ministry of Social Development. So we are a division within the ministry that is solely dedicated to promoting the healthy functioning of families. And as we all know, our elders are extremely important members of families these days. With the increasing lifespans that we see in our elder persons, they are now around for a while. They are now contributing members to the family. We have multi-generational families. And so our division, we really try to offer psychosocial support to these members of the family, as well as other members of the family. But we work in a problem solving as well as preventative way. So while we offer counseling for persons who may be facing difficulties, so for example, elders who may have experienced abuse and need to talk about it and need to work through it, we offer counseling services. And there might be elders who serve a different role in their families. So they haven't experienced abuse, but for example, they may be grandparents who are in charge of looking after the children. They may be grandparents who contribute to child rearing and so on. In those cases, our division offers grandparenting workshops and sensitization sessions. So this is to help empower grandparents and the elderly to function as a contributing family member rather than just someone who sits on the sidelines. And if anyone is interested in seeking these kinds of services, they can contact our division. We have the phone number, which is 623-2608, extensions 6701 to 6711. So that way you aren't forced to press a number. You get directly to a person or representative. And if you prefer to email, we also have our own direct email line, which is the nfsdivision@social.gov.tt.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. I just want to ask this question though. You know, these days grandparents are getting younger and younger. You know, in my day, my grandparents were aged people, but you have a lot of young grandparents. Is there an age factor in this? Is that age limit? You know, or is it that for, you know, like all grandparents that can access these services?
So our workshops are open to all grandparents, regardless of age. We also run parenting workshops as well, if you may not fall into the category of grandparent. But yeah, it's not age dependent at all.
Wonderful, wonderful. Glad to know. So what else do we have? What else can we share with the folks, ladies?
Well, there will be an ongoing education campaign. It will be primarily online for now. And so we would encourage persons to continue to view the ministry's social media pages for information as to how to overcome elder abuse in its various forms and what they can do to assist anyone who may have been a victim to that. So we would encourage that kind of self-education. There's already a video up on YouTube as to how to assist an elder as to using technology. We would have done that last year as part of the commemoration of United Nations International Day of Older Persons, and also some information on financial literacy there as well. So check the ministry's YouTube pages and you will get some information that would be useful to you.
What about people who take care of the elderly? Is there any information for people like that who, you know, sometimes you're thrust into that position, huh? You know, you have to take care of a grandparent, a grandmother, grandfather, that sort of thing. Is there any information there for those types of people?
We will be working on that, but at this point in time, it's more the interactive one-on-one support that we get through National Family Services Division, which works year-round service to our families and the carers and so on. And when Division of Aging gets reports and information requests, or we get persons having situations with regard to that, we do refer to Family Services Division, and they do go on the ground with us and give that kind of support and that kind of counsel.
Oh, wonderful.
We also engage with the Geriatric Adolescent Partnership Program. It used to reside in our ministry, but it has since moved, but we still maintain the partnership with them.
Okay, wonderful. You're talking about, you mentioned going on the ground. Do we have any personalized, going into homes, going into communities, that sort of thing, to meet the elderly, to talk to them, that sort of thing? Because not all of them are able to pick up a phone and call, not all of them are able to go online, that sort of thing. Is there that sort of interaction happening at all?
Yes. It is more for specific instances. Because of the pandemic, we have not been out, especially as our elders were especially vulnerable to the effects of COVID. But going forward, we will be finding that kind of activity happening more and more, where we engage with them directly, because all of us are COVID tired. All right, but at the same time, we want to remain safe. So in terms of our plans for fiscal year 2023, we did identify to have more of those interactive events and discussions once the health circumstances allow for that. But having said what I just said, we are doing the one-on-one, the face-to-face on a limited basis when we get complaints through the 800 OPIC line. And if it is a very high priority, severe case, we would partner with either the Ministry of Health if it is an incident in a home for older person to investigate, or we would partner with the police accordingly if we are going into private residence, in particular the gender-based domestic violence unit, to investigate the matter and then provide whatever recommendations and follow through on those issues. So we go in full PPE, the inspectors, to do those kinds of investigations, because we want to ensure that our elders are safe and we are mindful as to the conditions with COVID, even though we're on the tail end, hopefully.
Yes, indeed, indeed. And I tell you, it gladdens my heart to hear what you all are sharing, because I know for a long time the elderly have been neglected in the sense that, there have been a number of issues with the elderly that seemingly have not been addressed. Seemingly, I'm just talking about from someone who's looking from the outside in. But to hear that, this initiative is taking place that addresses our elderly and their concerns and that sort of thing, it really gladdens my heart to see that. Because one day, in the distant future, I'll be an elderly, somewhere in the distant future. And I'd like to think that these things are put in place for us. So let's go back to the beginning and share again concerning the webinar, when it's going to be, information concerning that, how they can access it, etc., etc.
Sure. So the webinar, Estate Planning and Financial Literacy to Combat Financial Abuse of Our Elders, it's on Wednesday, the 15th of June from 8:45 a.m. So you can participate and view the webinar from the comfort of your home, or if you're in, your office or so, you can view the webinar on Facebook. There's a live stream on the ministry's Facebook page. That's Ministry of Social Development and Family Services. But we would like you to pre-register. So go on to www.social.gov.tt and you will see the registration page and you can pose your questions there, but that does not stop you from posing questions during the live session. So call us at 800 OPIC, that's 800-6742 if you need assistance with accessing the webinar. We look forward to your participation.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Hyacinth Blake and Ms. Ambika Maharaj. I don't know if there's any, I want to give you all 30 seconds, if there's anything at all that we may have missed that you want to highlight before we close off this interview. Is there anything at all that you can think of?
Well, I do want to bring attention to the National Centenarian Program. We're still encouraging members of Trinidad and Tobago who are 99 years of age and over. Sorry, Professor, that definitely does not include you.
That rules me out, yes.
To register for our program, we do want to honor and appreciate you. There are several things that we provide to our centenarians, including we partner with Ministry of Health for a home health check-in. Kiss Baking is one of our platinum sponsors. So on their birthday, they receive a Kiss birthday cake. And we do have medals being prepared for them to recognize them as centenarians. And that should happen on our National Centenarians Day later this year. In September, we have dubbed it National Centenarians Day, and we trust persons will support us going forward. So call us or register someone you know who is within that age category.
Wonderful. Ms. Maraj, anything at all? No? Well, ladies, I want to say thank you so much for, visiting with us today and sharing that information, that all-important information for seniors and also our centenarians. I don't know if we have many of those, in Trinidad and Tobago, but we salute them. We have a gentleman here who is 103 years old, a regular caller, and he'll be 104.
Lovely.
Yeah, he'll be 104 in August. We don't even know his name. We just call him Mr. 103, and he'll be 104 in August. So, we salute him as well. So, ladies, thank you so much, and God bless you, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Professor. Bye.
Bye.
The family is the bedrock of our society. The family must at all times be provided with the support that is necessary to achieve its true potential. The Ministry of Social Development and Family Services, through its National Family Services Division, in commemoration of International Family Day 2022 and Family Month, presents its Family Time. Let's Talk, a radio program which focuses on the family and the issues relating to building healthy, functional families. Join us as we take a deeper look into emerging issues such as family violence, domestic violence, trauma, stress, and many more. Every Monday from 11:15 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. on 98.1 FM. The Ministry of Social Development and Family Services, helping, empowering, transforming